So she's my baby. Her name is Do We Really Have Control? It stems from a song. It's a band called Butcher Brown. They're Grammy nominated. And they have a line in the song called I Can Say to You that says, do we really have control? If you think you do, God bless your soul. And so when I heard the song, it spearheaded this moment of like, we all have had moments where we try to control something in our lives. It's not just cancer, right? So I am into mental health. Trauma happens, all these life-changing events. And I got a sponsorship to do a cancer panel. I just did a panel at Brownsville Winery, all the women, Stephanie Coleman, Tonika Johnson, all these different Black women leaders, right? And I was going to do a cancer panel. I'm just gonna, jump into cancer. And I was going to the doctor. It was really funny on a Monday. And I was like, yeah, this doesn't seem right. I'm a big feelings person now. So I'm really in my body and in my mind. And I'm like, I don't want people to just talk about cancer because it's not fun. We can make it as inspirational and as hopeful and as inspiring as you want to, but it's not fun. And so that Monday, I told my business partner, I said, I'm canceling the cancer event. By Wednesday, Chicago reached out to me and was like, we saw your cancer event in Hyde Park happening. How can we be part of your event? I was going to do a documentary. They were like, well, how can we be part of the documentary? The next day, this is a true story, by the next day, I have a friend who has brain cancer. And they were speaking at an AYA event at Northwestern. I didn't go this year because I was like, I'm tired of cancer a little bit. I need a little break. I ended up going, and a woman named Monique Clemens, she was like, what you been up to since cancer? And I was like, I kind of want to do a documentary. And she was like, well, how can Northwestern be involved? And so this idea of control, and this series is a multi-episode series documentary, and it's about this journey, right? It's not just me. So I, as a new director, new editor, new producer, I didn't want to be part of the documentary at all. But I had found 6 other people around my same age who were diagnosed or is still battling cancer, who want to tell their stories. And so this documentary features Mateo Valencia, who has a very rare leg cancer, diagnosed at 19. He's a leg amputee at 22. He made his own choice to get his leg amputated. Olivia Clark, she's about 42, second-time breast cancer, is now metastatic. Raul Sanchez, Emmy-nominated director and producer, who had pancreatic cancer. Kanisha Broadwater, who was my nurse, had breast cancer. A friend of mine, Dr. Jasmine James, cervical cancer at 30. And then you have myself, who's uterine cancer. But then when I did my sneak peek about it a couple months ago in September, I saw something, I see things in my head, right? When you're creative, you see it in your head first. And I was like, I want to tell more stories about caretakers. So I already had the oncologists, already doctors involved. I was like, but we got to expand on this some more. If I'm telling a story about cancer, cancer is not just about our stories. Because cancer not only just affects you, people that care for you halt their lives for you. People that care for you stop their workday. They stop their lives to be there. It was times where I couldn't take a bath by myself. It was times I could not feed myself. I could not walk. I had to get told to take my medicine, and I'm hyper independent. Cancer made me dependent upon people, even though they're my closest, my mom and my best friends. To not be able to bathe yourself is difficult, right? And so I had to expand on this story of control, because it's not just us that relinquishes control. It's not just us. And when we go to the doctor's office, someone else goes with us because we disassociate, we can't hear everything. Or we do hear everything, you get a report back to 99 people about your cancer, and you're like, okay, I'm overwhelmed. And so now we get to expand a little bit more. This month is my last month filming. Gratefully, I started filming in May. My last month filming, and I want to do preventative care. So Chicago has a study, so does Northwestern, and so does the American Cancer Society right now. It's called Voices, about Black women, 25 states. And we're just garnering research about cancer, really. And so this documentary literally is about young adults and how we navigate this world. Because one of my participants, his name is Steven Jackson, who's also my best friend. He is a marketing strategist, did campaigns for the NBA, LeBron James, Nike, Google. Lost his dad 2 years ago to kidney failure, but now his mom has metastatic ovarian cancer. How does that change his life, right? No one talks about, like, how does that change not only as a cancer survivor, but the people that care. My mom took off work. You got people taking off work. I got my best friend who's a travel nurse coming home from her travel assignment to be by my beck and call. Got my best friend who was in DC at the time coming to Chicago to make sure I'm okay. A best friend of mine, she's a social worker. She's like, I'm done. I have to be there for you. Whose mom now, a year later from me just having cancer, has now metastatic bladder cancer. So she went from being my caretaker, I'm getting emotional, being my caretaker, to now her mom. So I have to tell these stories about, like, not just us, but like people around us, you know? So yeah, it's my baby.